Hey, welcome to another episode of the cleverly named Jane Hamill podcast. So, my mission in life is to help you be consistent with your marketing so you get consistent, predictable sales from your online store, from your wholesale line, whatever. Let's dive in today, you guys. I really, really, really want you to know that there's only one thing overall that you really should care about. If you're an entrepreneur and you own a product-based business, now I know you're saying, oh, please, Jane, there's like a gazillion things. There's so many little details. I get it. I know. I owned a retail store. I sold my line to Saks and Bloomingdale's and wholesale and had reps in 5 different countries. I understand the particulars of selling products and manufacturing products and how there's so many details. It's not even funny. But overall, there is really only one thing that you need to care about, okay? And that one thing is that you must be always building an audience who knows you, likes you, and trusts you. Because if you have a following of people who know, like, and trust you, eventually they will buy from you. Some of them, a certain percentage will buy from you. Okay. It's a very natural progression, and it's not something you need to worry about. Right. So if you have a following, there's just, uh, hello. Hi, everyone. It's Jane Hamill. And in today's episode, my mission is to get you to really, truly believe that being an entrepreneur, there's only really one thing that you should be worried about and caring about every single day. My mission in life is to help you get consistent with your marketing so you get consistent, predictable, profitable sales every single month. All right. I work with product-based entrepreneurs, lots of people with Shopify stores, retail stores, selling wholesale, whatever, right? So my mission for today is for you to really know that if you build a following, you build an audience who really gets to know you, like you, and trust you, they will eventually buy from you. Build a following with that all-important KLT factor in marketing, know, like, and trust, and build the following around the lifestyle of your ideal customer. And there is a certain percentage of those people who will want to buy your products. That is the key to a successful business. Building up that audience, then it'll be a natural progression for them to purchase and not something that you'll need to be worried about all the time. You won't have to be saying, where is my next sale coming from? What am I going to do? I truly believe any entrepreneur can build a following of people who want to buy their products, can afford to buy their products, and understand the value of their products and give you the credit card. Okay. If you guys don't know me, I'm a former clothing designer. I had a retail store for many, many years. I sold my line to Bloomingdale's, Saks, Macy's. I've been in, Entrepreneur Magazine and Women's Wear Daily and on NPR, all kinds of really cool stuff, right? So my background is in selling products. However, my passion and my interest is first helping women make their own money so you never have to rely on anyone else, your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, anybody. But also selling in the psychology of selling is absolutely fascinating. What makes someone buy from you and what makes somebody pass, right? Selling direct to consumer, which is what I focus on a lot with my clients, is not hard, right? Yet it really is tricky in the sense that it takes time, it takes energy, and it takes completely understanding and caring about the customer. Okay. So let me start with a story. I'm standing on the stage at the Chicago Cultural Center. It's a beautiful building, a beautiful auditorium. And honestly, I was nervous. I had a microphone. I'm sitting behind a podium. The lights were really, really hot. The auditorium was stuffy and it was full of people. I started out like I usually do when I give a talk, trying to make people feel comfortable, asking them about their business, making sure I know where they are. So whatever presentation I'm giving will help them, right? And in this case, it was a startup workshop, people who were starting either a fashion brand or some type of jewelry or, product. So I asked everybody, hey, what stage are you in? Have you launched your business yet? How far along have you? How long have you had it? How are you selling? Who's doing what? A lot of people were startups. And even though the auditorium was really large, they kind of were shouting out what it was they were pursuing, what they were doing. Things started to warm up a little bit. We started to get comfortable. So I'm going like, all right, this is going to go well. And I said, so who's already launched? And one lady raised her hand and she said, I just launched 2 weeks ago. I've been working on this collection of scarves and wraps for 2 solid years, just trying to get it perfect and producing everything in Peru. And I finally received my first shipments and they look gorgeous. So everything got up on the site 2 weeks ago. Boom, the whole audience cheered. Everybody was happy for her. Her product development stage was over and she's ready to sell. So bam, I just continued with the workshop and that was that. After the presentation, she came down the steps or the ramp kind of thing. And she said, Jane, thanks so much for cheering me on about my product launch. But then tears started to come up in her eyes. And she told me that the last 2 weeks, she's been doing everything she could to sell, and she hasn't even sold one item yet. And she said, I didn't want to say that in front of everybody in the auditorium because, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm panicking, honestly, because I have all of this inventory and no idea what I'm doing wrong. So this brave woman told me her true story. And that's why I'm making this podcast. Actually, that's why I kind of shifted my business in general, because after that encounter, I stopped doing my presentations from like, hey, don't you want to be successful like me? And don't you want to sell to Bloomingdale's and Saks and have reps in 5 cities? And I was like, okay, they don't care about me. It's about you. It's about what you should be caring about in order to make money and have a successful business and enjoy your business. So that was kind of the point when I started really teaching how to build a following and how to find people who will buy your stuff on a regular basis. This woman in that auditorium that day, her story was so heartbreaking, and it is so common that I decided that I really needed to do something different with my business, which I started to do and started to teach, because I think it's not fair. It's not cool. It's not necessary. And it's way too common. And I don't want that to happen to you. Okay. So whatever stage you're in, whether you have, your 50th product launch or your first product launch, the only thing you need to care about is building a following of people who know, like, and trust you, who will then be leading into a sale. Okay. So let's contrast the story of the first woman in the auditorium to an entrepreneur named Lisa. Lisa is totally different. All right. So after I started kind of owning and teaching, like, you can start building a following even before your product is ready, right? I have a whole like mini course on build an audience before your product's even launched, right? This lady, Lisa, she attended a seminar that I did in San Francisco. She listened. I didn't meet her. I'd never met her, but apparently she listened, she took notes. And about 9 months later, I got an email from her. And it said, hey, Jane, thanks for your advice about building an audience, even if you're not ready to sell yet. I went to your seminar in San Francisco and I did what you said. I launched the other day and I've sold 60 units in 2 days. Thank you, thank you, thanks. She had said, thanks for the Brill advice. I had to kind of look that up. Brilliant. I was like, oh, yeah, brilliant. Now that is what I want to hear. And that's what I want for you, right? 60 units sold in the first 2 days because she started marketing early. She started building a following even before she had a product, and building a following not based on the product. You hear me there, guys? Building a following, building an audience is not based on what product you make. It's about the lifestyle of the customer that you want to serve. It's like gathering a group of like-minded people together. And you do that through content marketing. All right. So I want you guys to be more like Lisa. I don't want you to be coming up to me saying, I have products I can't sell. I want you to start early. And whether you've been selling for 10 years, I don't care. Right now, you can start building up a following in a different way than you did last year. It's all good. Okay. Doesn't matter what stage you're at here. It just matters that you get started. So The only difference in building an audience between an entrepreneur who's launching their very first collection from scratch and a lot of my clients who've been selling for years is that when you do your content marketing, when the time comes to pitch your product, you don't pitch, right? At the end of your marketing sequence, you don't say, oh, go buy this. You say, hey, thanks a lot. Do this instead, follow me on Instagram or leave me a comment or send me a DM or come to my event, or we're having a book signing or whatever you're doing, right? So if you're not actually selling, you do all the same marketing. You just provide the value and the information for your community without a pitch at the end, okay? Because selling is a process. Selling is not, here's my product, buy it now. That does happen, right? People put t-shirts up on Instagram and somebody says, I want that, $28 t-shirt. So it's possible. But for most of us, especially with a higher end product, and you're not selling like, a widget or a phone case or whatever, people need to go through that process of getting to know, like, and trust you before they feel they can trust you enough to purchase from you. Okay. So the basic idea is that when they know, like, and trust you, some percentage of your following will eventually buy. If you ask any entrepreneur, think about yourself, right? How did you get your very first sales? Where did they come from? It's almost always from friends and family. And why is that? Because they already know you. Because presumably they like you. I can't say for sure. Hopefully they trust you and they know you're going to deliver on your promise. So the basic premise of building a following is to take that group, that small group of friends and family who bought you in the very beginning, and expand on that. Okay. I like this quote. It's from Sarah Gebauer from the Social M's. Sorry, Sarah, if I murdered your name. She says, of course you can sell without building a brand, a reputation, and trust first. Only it'll be a lot harder and cost you a lot more money. I mean, hello, who listening? Raise your hand if you want things to be harder and cost more money. Oh, hells no. I'm pretty sure that's not you, right? So what I hear from so many entrepreneurs, oh my God, it's constant, is that you're frustrated. You start out knowing that you have a good product, but then not enough people are buying it. Maybe not enough people even know you exist, probably. And so then you start to doubt if your product is any good at all, right? And it becomes this vicious cycle of not only everything you have to do, but this stuff that you're thinking about in your head, this between the ears aspect of my stuff must suck. Nobody bought it. But the fact is, maybe you had traffic of 100 people to your site, right? And nobody bought. That's just not enough traffic. Your audience is not big enough. So I get this question a lot. They're like, oh my gosh, Jane, I finally have my product in stock and it came out great. I'm so excited. Now I need to go find some customers. What should I do? And I'm like, oh, no, guys, you have it all backwards. First, you want to start gathering customers lined up. And then you create a product just for these people that you know they are going to love, right? So whether your product is ready to sell or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is building that following based around the lifestyle of your ideal customer, not necessarily based around the product. I know I keep repeating myself, but I just feel like not everybody gets this, no matter how many times I say it, right? So the idea is that in a way you become a content, a media company, like Gary Vee says. You become a content producer. You create videos, you create memes, you do articles, blogs, you do social media, you build an audience, and you work it backwards. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to sell kids clothing, right? And let's say you're like me and you're a redhead and you're like, oh my gosh, if I go outside in the sun, I get sunburn in like, 2.5 minutes, right? And so you want to do clothing with UPF, like SPF, but for textiles, right? You want to do something, let's say, kind of the moment would be like a mommy and me situation. You want to focus on the mom is aging well, enjoy the sun, be out in the sun, don't wreck your skin, right? So you can start by building a following based on the lifestyle of this person. What do they do in the sun? If it's mommy and me, is it like you're at the playground, you're at the beach, you live in sunny areas, you're on vacation? There's a lot of people who go out in the sun with their kids. Which one is yours? Is it the hipster young millennial type mom? Is it like the, 40 something mom? Is it suburban, like the Marin mom, or is it the, Lower East Side mom, whatever. I'm sort of just making things up. Is it the mom in the middle of Oklahoma type mom who is, soccer mom type person? I know I'm generalizing. Sorry, Oklahoma. I don't mean to put you down there. But the fact is this: you think about this person, you think about who you most want to sell to. And then you create your content. You start building your following around that person. So if you want to enjoy fun in the sun with your kids, maybe you want to start a Facebook group all about aging well, protecting your skin, and without having to stay indoors. I'll tell you that this is a big issue for me. Like, I want to play a lot of tennis, but I don't, because I don't want to be outside all day like that, right? So anyway, whatever it is that you do, you stand for something, right? Or hopefully your brand stands for something. If you sell pet products, you probably sell a certain type of pet product. Maybe you sell something for boxers, or it's mostly for big dogs, right? You build an audience around, we love big dogs. Big dogs are funny because we do funny dog memes. Like, whatever it is, you build a following around the lifestyle, not the product. So if you want to do something for big dogs, you love dogs, you love working with dog owners, you love selling to them, you think you will, or you are, then what kind of content can you produce that's going to be really of some value to the people who may buy your product someday? And I really want you to think about who this person is. And I want you to pick a specific person, not a compilation demographic, ideal customer avatar type thing we did in school. That's completely useless. I have never had an ICA that worked for me. The only thing that I do and what I teach in my membership is choosing a real human. Who do you most want to see using your product? Okay, you may want to write that down. Who do I most want to see using my product? And that person has to fit 3 criteria. They have to, 1, get it. They like what you have. They understand the value. That's actually 2. They like it. They understand the value without having to be convinced, and they have access to money. Okay. So example of this is when I first opened my retail store, and, I was 25 years old, and I was selling clothing for like 20 somethings who were going on dates and going out to parties and bars and restaurants and, having fun. And the clientele that would shop, I was very close to Children's Memorial Hospital in Chicago. And there were a bunch of young residents who had to walk, thankfully, between the hospital and their clinic, where they had, like, I'm going to say office hours or whatever, clinic hours. And they were all cute and fun and young and dating. And while they're residents, they didn't have a lot of money. They knew they probably would someday. I don't know. But no matter what, like, they liked what I have. They got it. They understood the value because I made clothes for going out. They had access to money, meaning they had credit cards. I don't know that they paid those credit cards off. A resident salary is pretty low, but they had all 3. They liked it. They saw the value in a cute outfit that was worth the money. And they had access to credit cards because they were a resident. All right. Those are the 3 things you need. Who do you most want to see using your product? Who fits these 3 things? And then what is the content? How can I build a community of these people together? And if you love what you do, right? If you love, like, if you're going to be the person doing the mommy and me bathing suits or whatever with the UPF protection, and you love spending time on the beach with your kids, or spending on time on the beach, whatever, or you making pet projects and you love working with big dogs, then you're going to love hanging out with the people in this community, right? And if you don't, then why are you doing that business anyway? Right? That would be the other question I had. So it's not only like something that you need to do in order to sell, in my opinion. You can't be just product focused. It's also really, really cool when you get to hang out with a lot of like-minded people. And then when you're ready, when your product is ready, you say, hey, guys, I finally been listening to you. You asking them, you're talking to them, you know what their life is like. You know how much time they spend on the beach. You know what frustrates them about the bathing suits that they're currently wearing. You're talking to them, you're surveying them, they're getting to be your friends, and you create your product for them. Okay. So it's not about you sitting home thinking about how creative you can be. It's about you talking, asking what products do you currently use for this situation? What's missing? What do you wish you could buy, but you can't? What do you currently buy? How much do you spend? Oh, let me make that for you. Okay. You want to sell, UPF clothing to this type of person. Listen to them, create the product they want to buy, and then you will have customers from day one. Okay. If you've been in business 10 years and you haven't been doing this, don't worry about it. Start right now. Send them a survey, but don't send them a survey saying, hey, if I made this kind of product, would you buy it? Because they're probably going to say yes, because they're nice and they don't know what they're going to do, but they want to please you, right? And they want to be someone who might buy that. Like, oh, maybe I've never spent, $400 on a dress, but if you did make it, Jane, I would buy it. No, you wouldn't. If you've never done that behavior before, what makes you think you're going to do it now, right? All right. So think and think and think about who is the person that you're serving. What value can you add to their lives with your content? Only care about this person and building that following. And then the sales will come. If you want to get sales, stop thinking about sales. Okay. So let's think even about Starbucks, for example. Now, when you think of Starbucks, we all know they have stores everywhere, right? Or I guess I think of it as a store, I guess a restaurant, whatever you want to call it. They have distribution. They're pretty much on every other corner in the United States and across the world. They're known for their coffee. They're also known for getting your order just the way you want it, even if it's ridiculous when Harry met Sally style, they don't care. They're friendly. They never give you a hard time for having a complicated order. They are known for giving their employees health insurance. If they work 20 hours a week, they're known for social awareness. They're known for lots of different stuff, right? They're known for coffee, but they're also known for lots of different things that go on in their business besides just the product. So let's say tomorrow, Starbucks stopped serving coffee, right? Let's just assume like, oh my gosh, I don't know. All of a sudden, new data shows, just revealed, coffee causes 85 different types of cancer, makes your insides blow up like pop rocks, and we're not going to sell coffee anymore. And perhaps they shift to tea or, culottes or whatever the heck that is they sell these days, right? But you usually buy the coffee. Now, would you completely stop going in there? Or would you think to yourself, there's something I just like about the way it feels when I walk in there into this store. It's on every corner. I'm used to going there. They know my order. They're friendly. Maybe, possibly, I'm still going to go because I just like that environment. They know my order. They're friendly to me. I trust them. They're on every corner, right? They have the distribution. They have the reputation of serving people with a friendly smile. And I like that. Okay. So that is the value of building a following. Yes, we like Starbucks for their coffee, 100%. But what percentage of people would still go in there to buy whatever it is that they sell because they have a relationship with the experience of going to Starbucks? They have a relationship with the brand as a whole rather than it's just the product. Okay. So really think about that and think about working that backwards. The other thing is, it's kind of even harder for Starbucks because Starbucks is Starbucks. It's a big company, right? You are a person. You can be the face of the brand. People like to buy from people much more so than they like to buy from companies. Okay. So whether you're frustrated right now that you don't have enough sales, or if you're not sure who you're supposed to be selling and marketing to, or even if you're just getting started and you're in the idea stage and you don't even know exactly what you're going to sell, wherever you are right now, you are okay. Okay. You're not doing this wrong. I just want you to really think about, if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, there's only one thing I really need to care about. And that is, who are these people that I'm selling to? What do they want from me? How can I enrich their lives? How can I build a community of them and care about them and love them up and provide value with them, and then eventually sell? I really think there is a 4-step process to selling. And it starts with who's the person? What's the value that I'm offering them besides the product? What is Starbucks giving me besides just coffee, right? Um, who, value, you're giving them value, you're building community, which then builds that trust, that bond, that relationship between you and the prospect or the community. And then you sell. That's number 4. We don't go into this thinking about sales. So who do I most want to sell to? Who's this person? How can I add value to their lives and, provide them with something besides just my product? Number 3 is then giving that value, builds that bond, builds that relationship, and then I offer them my product. Okay? 4 steps. So the know, like, and trust factor, wherever you are right now, it's okay. Just start from today thinking of this not as I have product, you go buy. Mm-mm-mm. Who are you? How do I add value? Through my content marketing, probably, if it's education, entertainment, funny cat videos, information, tips, stories, whatever. Know, like, and trust. Okay. So first start to build that audience around the lifestyle of your ideal customer. Then start to listen to what it is they want to buy, what they're currently buying, and what's wrong with what they're buying, what they're asking for. And based on that, you create the product and sell it directly to them. Boom. I hope this helps. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Are you doing this? I know this is a big topic. I hope I've really helped you hone in on not thinking about all these little details that you have to do every day. The only thing you should care about is this customer and building that audience. All right. Thank you so much for listening. And if you are someone who's really serious about getting consistent with connecting with your audience and building that audience, getting consistent with your marketing so you get predictable, profitable sales every week, every day, every month, and you don't have to worry, then maybe you want to join my membership called Imperfect Action, where we take the topics that we do on this podcast, we dive into them deeply with a monthly theme, and you have access to live individualized coaching with me. So you say, Jane, here's what I'm doing. What do you look? Can you give me a critique? Can you go over my website? Can you look at my Facebook ad? Can you check my marketing message? All of it. All right. That sounds like something you're ready for. And if you have a product ready to sell currently, then this might be a program for you. It's month to month. You can check it out at janehamel.com/membership. It has been a game changer for people. I'm just getting the feedback in, you guys. I am so excited for some of these folks. I mean, like, one of our members is working only 4 days a week since she joined the program. Another one says her sales are up. She's like tripled her sales. Another one said she went from being a chicken with her head cut off to being a cool, calm, collected CEO. So really, I can't tell you. Please, please, please start only worrying about building that audience and making people happy so it leads to your sales, and get some support. Maybe I'm going to be the person who can coach you in the membership. Maybe not. Get it from somebody if it's not me. Okay. janehamel.com/membership. Have an awesome day. And thank you so much for listening. Hey, I'm rooting for you. I know that sometimes you feel like you're in this all by yourself. Your family doesn't understand. My husband rolls his eyes at me sometimes when I'm doing stuff. There's somebody here. Her name is Jane. That's me right here. And I get you. All right. I'm rooting for you all the time and for your business. Have a great day. Bye-bye.